Smart contracts are about to go live on Radix with the Babylon upgrade, and I think XRD is about to bust. In this video, I'm gonna give you a quick refresher as to why I'm bullish on Radix. I've already made 2 in-depth videos on Radix, so feel free to check these out. We're gonna cover what this Babylon upgrade is and why it's making me bullish on Radix right now, as it's my largest holding. I'm gonna show you guys which Radix ecosystem tokens I'm investing in, and I'm gonna show you step-by-step how to get a wallet set up and how to bridge over, because it's not as easy as it seems. So before we get into this video, I just ask if you get value from it, like it, comment, share with a friend, and consider subscribing. And I do have to say that this is not financial advice. Please consult with your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. This video is for your education purposes only, and like we always say, do your own research. So just to give you guys a quick refresher on Radix and why I'm bullish on it. Radix is a layer 1 blockchain. In the bull market, the layer 1s make up 60 to 70% of the entire market because it's what everything is built on. Few things I like about Radix. They have their Scripto programming language, which is a more efficient and safe programming language. So if you compare it to the EVM or Ethereum virtual machine or Solidity, most developers spend 10% of their time building, 90% of the time auditing the smart contracts, and we're still seeing hacks left and right. Radix is trying to flip that ratio on its head and allow people to focus on building. They do this through having what's called an asset-oriented smart contract programming language. I encourage everyone to go and read their DeFi white paper. In it, it shows what Uniswap would look like built on Radix versus how it looks built on ETH. One of the downfalls about Solidity is that each interaction is treated as a smart contract interacting with another smart contract. And anytime a smart contract is interacting with another smart contract, it's a vulnerability. It's a chance to essentially hack the contract. So Scripto, which is Radix's programming language, it puts assets in buckets, so that thing can't even happen. If you want to talk about developer activity, I think it was February of 2022 they had like 127 devs. Now they're up to almost like 15,000 last time I checked. So people are building on Scripto. Another thing I like about Radix and what they're doing is that they have developer royalties, which can make it so that every platform doesn't need a token because you can make money off of your code. So what they're doing is, like, let's say you make the standard code for an AMM on Radix and people fork your code and use it. Well, hey, guess what? You're getting royalties paid out to your wallet on a per transaction basis. So that's going to inspire healthy competition for people to build the best code because they're going to want to get those royalty payments. I really love that. Another thing I like about Radix is their tokenomics are phenomenal from an investment standpoint. They are a proof of stake blockchain and they didn't raise any VC capital, bootstrap. So you're not gonna have to worry about any major unlocks like you have to do with pretty much 99% of all other projects. A couple more things. I like that they're building their chains specifically for DeFi. I'm really bullish on application specific chains. And they have their Radix smart wallet, which is going to make DeFi mobile friendly. Like I always tell people, like, don't download MetaMask on your phone unless it's like some hot wallet you want to use to go do risky shit. Like, don't put your bag on your phone, because a lot of people have gotten hacked that way. They're making it so that you can circumvent that and do DeFi on mobile, and they make the transaction manifest a lot easier. So if you go on MetaMask and you're going to approve a transaction or confirm a transaction, a lot of times, like, you don't know what that shit is unless you know how to read it and you know how to look at what you need to look at on the block explorer. Radix makes that super, super, super simple. So, another cool thing about their wallet is that you can control what assets get sent to you. So it's like, you don't always have to worry about getting these spammy tokens all the time. Like, they're checking all of my boxes here. I love Radix. I've been making videos on Radix for over a year now. And, I'm excited for this Babylon upgrade. Now that we talked about that, let's do some technical analysis and look at the Radix chart. So right now we're looking at the monthly chart. And as you can see, we're pretty much close to the bottom, right? I caught this last pump, and this pump happened because the Babylon upgrade was initially supposed to launch in July. So it pumped in addition to that. So with it actually coming up September 27th, I wouldn't be surprised if it pumped again or pumped even higher. So if we look here, if Radix just pumps to where it pumped in anticipation of the Babylon upgrade, that's a 174% return. But if it goes to previous all-time highs, that's a 11x return. So it's a good entry to get in right now. So now let's talk about this Babylon upgrade. Babylon is set to launch September 27th, and they said they're for sure not going to delay at this time. All right, so this Babylon upgrade is essentially making their smart contracts go live. Like right now, all the transactions that happen on Radix is happening in a centralized way. The validators and everything that makes a blockchain run, like a proof of stake blockchain run, isn't live yet. All these projects that are built on Radix, they're just waiting for smart contracts to be live so they can actually run their business and have the projects go live. So this is going to be a big thing, and I feel like the Radix ecosystem is going to explode. And as you'll be able to see when I show you here, the market caps for these projects are little babies. Like it's going to be a lot of 50, 100, 200x opportunities in this ecosystem, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. And you know, the cool thing about the smart contracts going live, like if you go on DeFi Llama, Radix isn't on there. Radix isn't listed on any major exchanges. Like it's only a one-way bridge unless you have like I think a Bitfinex account. So it's like it's hard to get over there and fuck around, but that's what keeps most people away. And that's why we need to do it, because once everything's easy and you can go over there and people start buying, we already got our position set and we'll be able to sell people our bags. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna be going over just 3 projects that I'm buying within the Radix ecosystem. 2 of them, my largest positions, are decentralized exchanges. And before I even get into them, let's talk about why I'm investing into decentralized exchanges. So we're going to be reading off the Coinbase Secret Master Plan essay, which was written by Brian Armstrong, September 7th, 2016. All right. And he basically talks about the process of technology being rolled out, comparing the internet to Web3 technology. So you go through 4 phases. You have the protocol phase, then the infrastructure phase, then the consumer interface phase, and then the application phase. And the reach, give or take, is 1 million people on protocol, 10 million people on infrastructure, 100 million people during the consumer interface, then 1 billion people once the applications are live. So let's go through this. So for the internet, the protocol was TCP/IP, which stands for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. And it's pretty much almost like the standard language that everyone agreed upon, and is the foundation of the internet. So after there was a language or a standard protocol that everyone agreed upon, then came infrastructure, internet service providers, which is what an ISP is, and then lay fiber optic cables to connect everything, right? So now that you have the protocol, and then you have infrastructure on top of the protocol, next comes the consumer interface, which is the browser, Internet Explorer, Netscape, Safari, etc., etc. And then after you have a browser, then you have applications, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Google, these standard websites. Like this is the order of the tech stack, and it has to go in this order. Crypto has the same parallels. So the protocol phase, we have Bitcoin and Ethereum. Infrastructure phase, exchanges, secure storage. Consumer interface, user controlled wallet. And then the dApps are actual applications, Aave, Compound, Uniswap, etc., etc. So the reason why I'm investing into decentralized exchanges first is because if we make this for the context of Radix, Radix is a protocol, right? And then the next thing after that are exchanges or decentralized exchanges, because these are on and off ramps for people to be able to use things. Even if you look at when the Arbitrum ecosystem launched, when BNB launched, like you saw what PancakeSwap did, the DEXs most of the time pump first, and they pump big. So now we got that out of the way, let's go into the projects that I'm actually looking at. And before I actually get into the projects that I'm looking at, it's important for me to note that all 3 of these projects won a grant from Radix. So Radix was giving out grants, $30,000 per grant. It was 6 winners. And once you win the grant, you don't just get the money, but you get office hours, you get access to the top devs from the Radix ecosystem, and like lawyers, so that way you're compliant. So it's almost like you get a whole team on top of the founding team that you already have to ensure success of the project. And I think that says a lot. If the Radix team picked these projects to win a grant, it says that they believe in them. So the first project that we're looking at, and this is my largest allocation, I've only bridged over like $10,000 or something like that. This is high risk. Like I do believe Radix is going to do well, but shoot, it could crash and burn. So only invest what you're willing to lose, okay? So AussieSwap is the largest decentralized exchange on Radix, all right? Right now they have $2.6 million and total value locked. And they even show like the market caps of pretty much the top projects. So as you can see, the market cap for Aussie Swap is only $2.4 million. If we look at decentralized exchanges, and keep in mind we're in a bear market, like let's just look at some of these market caps. So first you got Uniswap, 3.2 billion. If Aussie Swap got to a level, which I don't think it will, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Uniswap came over to Radix eventually and then it steals all the liquidity away, because Uniswap is innovating. Curve, 384 million. Right now, Aussie Swap is 2 million. So that's what, like a 300x or something like that if it gets to that level. DYDX, 367 million. Pancake Swap, and it's at the bottom right now, 264 million, right? So it's a lot of room for growth. Sushi Swap, 110 million. That's over 100x if it gets to $110 million market cap. Standard decentralized exchange is built on Radix, and right now they're doing like a liquidity bonus right now. So if you provide liquidity, they have like a epoch, like I think it's once, don't quote me on this, it's once every so often, week or 2 weeks or something like that. If you hold LP tokens in your wallet and a certain amount of Aussie, you actually get free Aussie tokens, okay? Now, this is a short-term trade, and when I go to take profits, another thing to know is there is no stable coin on Radix yet, so you probably want to either take profits into Radix or wrap Bitcoin. The next project I'm looking at is Caviar Swap, and their token is Floop. So as you can see, they also have extremely small market cap, and they just recently pumped 35%, but 2.3 million. That's a baby. We already went over, the decentralized exchanges on CoinGecko. So the cool thing about this project is that when you go to provide liquidity, normally you have to pair it with one other asset. But they allow you to pair one asset with multiple assets. So like in this pool, you can do Radix with Floop, Aussie, Radit, VKC. So that way you kind of like hedge off your risk and you can decrease your impermanent loss depending on how the pool is doing. And that way if someone's not swapping between Radix and let's say Astral, and they swap between Radix and Bobby, well, since you have both of those tokens staked, you're making money when they're getting traded back and forth from both of them. More importantly, what this does is it makes it easier to start up a DEX on the Radix ecosystem because they allow other DEXs to use their pools for transactions. And you don't have to create all these pools from scratch. Next project I'm looking at is Photon. And again, I know this is a NFT infrastructure project in a way. And I know NFTs are in a bear market, but if we look at their market cap, it's only 414,000. And I hopped on this one because of where it's ranking in market cap in Radix. Again, this is a short-term trade. So I think if Babylon is successful, like people are going to bridge over, and a rising tide raises all ships. Like most of these tokens in the top 10, top 20 are probably going to pump, but I still want to, make sure I at least am buying something that's still legit. This project essentially allows you to create your own NFT for whatever specific purpose. So you got in-game assets, art collectibles, community assets. And they just do all these cool things with NFTs. And if you guys watch any of my other content, I am bullish on NFTs, not as just like buying JPEGs. So I'm going to be diving deeper into the Radix ecosystem. Like right now, most of my focus is on Base and Radix. But Radix, their smart contracts haven't launched yet, but their programming language is out. So it's like a weird thing. Like it's like things are built, but it's just not live. So it's a interesting opportunity. But you just go to radixecosystem.com and you hit projects. You can go through pretty much all of the projects that are on Radix. And you can just read through and invest in, what resonates with you. But you want to do it fast because after Babylon is live, if it's successful, you might miss the pump, or at least the initial pump. Now that we briefly went over which projects I'm buying and why, let's go over how to bridge over to Radix and how to actually buy. And before I do that, one thing to know is that just like when Base started, like when the ball token was pumping, I think it was, like you can only bridge over to Base, but there was no way to get back over. It's the same case with Radix. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a bit of a scary feeling because when you bridge over there, it's kind of like, oh shit, I'm kind of trapped, but fortune favors the bold at the end of the day. So I'm cool with taking the risk. So one-way bridge, and there's no stable coin. However, if you have like a Bitfinex account, and I think it's one other exchange that has a two-way bridge, you can bridge back. But look at this. Radix announced a layer 0 partnership back in April of this year. So Stargate is built on layer 0. So once everything is live and they're on DeFi Llama, like bridges are going to connect to Radix. So there is going to be a way to get back and forth. And Stargate's my favorite bridge. So even if they just had that, that would be cool. You gotta remember, guys, this is the wild, wild west, and people who went west first didn't necessarily have a good time, but they did have a chance to find the gold first. All right, so we're looking for gold here. Now, this is the bridge you use to bridge over. It's instabridge.io. So you create a profile, and the KYC bullshit they have you go through does kind of suck. So before you can bridge, you have to do all of this stuff. You have to verify your identity, which is like your driver's license or a passport. I use my license. You have to register your address, and then they have different tiers. So I just did the $15,000 tier because, you know, I don't plan on bridging over more than that, at least for not right now. And you can always upgrade your tier. So that part sucks, but after you do that, then you can go to InstaBridge, you connect your wallet, and then you bridge over EXRD to XRD. So EXRD is just Ethereum Radix. They stored some Radix somewhere safe, and that way you can have Radix on Ethereum, but it's backed by actual Radix on the Radix network. So when you bridge over your eRadix to Radix, I think they burn the actual eRadix, so that way everything is still one-to-one. But you get the contract address here, and you just paste this in on Uniswap, and you can buy it, and that's what you bridge over. And actually, before you bridge over, you have to set up a Radix wallet. So I did the desktop wallet first, but in order to do swaps on decentralized exchanges, the desktop wallet doesn't actually connect to the exchange, or it connects, but you can't swap. You have to do like a manual swap. You have to do a lot of copying and pasting. So to circumvent that, the top wallets on Radix is Crossdar. No, I'm kidding. It's XDAR. But you have XStar and Zeus. The guy in the Discord said XStar was the best, so I just use that. It's pretty standard. You pick a password, get your private keys, and you know, it's kind of just like MetaMask, but you go to this website, xstar.io, you click XStar wallet, get XStar wallet, and then you have it as an extension right here. So after you have it as an extension, you just put the Radix you want to bridge, and then you click this, and I think it took like no more than 10 minutes for my tokens to bridge over to the Radix mainnet. So another thing to know, you have to pull up the OssiSwap website first and then connect to the wallet. Like I was having some trouble connecting my wallet. I went through a lot to get over here. I'm trying to make it as easy on you guys as I can. It shows your balance up here and everything like that. But you go here and you just type in the tokens you want, and then you just swap just like you would on Uniswap. Now let's go over my take profit strategy. So this is the Aussie swap chart. As you can see, we're at a pretty strong support level. So what I like to do is, like, the number one goal for you, if you're trading, you want to at least, the very least, get your principal back so that you're playing with house money. So that way you're in a risk-free trade. Like, don't be greedy. You want to know where you're getting out before you get in every single time. But I'm going to keep a moon bag on this one because I know with the smart contracts being live, I wouldn't be surprised if these pump to all-time highs. Like, the market cap's super small. It ain't nothing for $2 million to get invested into this project. Some good profit taking levels for you would be around the 20-cent level, the 30-cent level. As you can see, this has been a strong level of resistance. And then the next level is 35 cents. And then it's just kind of like no man's land. So yeah, it might be a good idea to just like, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, because market psychology shows that people care about these big even levels. Traders look at them, and whatever the level is, you might want to get out a little bit before, not just be greedy. Same thing here with Caviar Swap. And I caught this right before it did that 35% pump, but it's still a $2 million market cap, so it's still a baby. So you're damn near coming up on no man's land here. So in order for this to double, it actually has to exceed previous all-time highs. So this one, I'd probably take profits at 8 grand, take profits at 10, maybe 15, 20. The market cap's already small. And, we're already past most of the strong support levels, right? This is a strong support level that we're at right now. So after this, you're going into no man's land. Same thing with Photon. We're on the daily chart here. So right now it's at 0.004. So in order for it to go up 100%, it has to get just below previous all-time highs to this area right here. So pretty much retest all-time highs for it to double. Like I said, it's a brand new ecosystem on a layer 1. This stuff has been being built out for 10 years. So I'm only hearing good things from developers, and you're hearing good things from developers. That's good because they're going to build the applications that retail is going to come in and use. So there you have it, folks. I'm going to conclude that video here. Let me know what projects I should be covering in the Radix ecosystem. I'm trying to go through as many as I can before the Babylon upgrade so I can pump my bags if I'm just keeping it real with y'all. But I do believe in what Radix is doing. I would love to see this ecosystem flourish. So let me know what feedback you had. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know another project in Radix that I can be covering. But until then, I thank you guys for watching. I love every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.